And we start with quite the interesting change of events. The ongoing investigations into the 7.8 billion shilling scandal took a dramatic twist today after the Office of the Auditor General told a parliamentary committee investigating the scam that it made typo errors for monetary amounts that allegedly benefited two companies, namely Shop and Buy Limited and NanoPay Limited. NTV's Seth Olale, who attended the heated session at Parliament Building, also reports that the directors of the two companies failed to appear for questioning before the Legislative Committee, raising more eyebrows.
I'm seeing here that you're talking about an error by Shop and Buy.
After a month's recess, Parliamentary Committee investigations into the 7.8 billion shillings Kenya Medical Supplies Authority procurement scandal resumed, with the National Assembly Public Investment Committee scheduling a session with the Office of the Attorney General as well as directors of four beneficiary companies, namely NanoPay Limited, Shop and Buy Limited, Megascope Limited, and Medlife Biological Limited. The Attorney General's office, through a written submission, informed the parliamentary watchdog that it had made a typographical error on amounts under investigations for NanoPay Limited and Shop and Buy Limited. That NanoPay Limited, which was being investigated for benefiting from an irregular tender totaling 340 million shillings for the supply of 50,000 KN95 face masks, each costing about 700 shillings, is now being investigated for only goods worth 34 million shillings.
How did that error happen? Because we understand whoever was doing this documentation is somebody who is qualified, who knows what he's doing, and even after doing that, there is a need of verifying whatever you have done. So this idea of every time we're being told that it is an error, it is a typological error, it doesn't buy. It does not buy that.
Then the figure should be having a zero. But if it is having another number rather than a zero, then it becomes suspicious.
What a coincidence that both companies, they have errors. And that is why those suppliers should appear to us. We need to see all the LPO document. We need to see the LPOs, the tender document. And I also would request our clerk to give us the documents, the ones we were using when we decided to summon here.
The Office of the Auditor General did not indicate the new amount Shop and Buy Limited is being investigated for, with officers being forced to leave the session in a bid to make frantic telephone calls in order to come up with required answers. To pile more pressure on the Auditor General, the directors of NanoPay and Shop and Buy Limited failed to show up, forcing the legislative watchdog to summon the directors.
To send us an affidavit and not give us the opportunity to interrogate and to question, I think is taking the committee for granted.
Shop and Buy received a lucrative tender from KEMSA totaling to 970 million shillings for supplying face masks and PPEs. Today's parliamentary session was the first in 2021 as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission as well as various parliamentary committees resume investigations into the KEMSA scandal. They are targeting 102 companies allegedly involved in the procurement irregular scandal. Seth Olale, NTV, Parliament Buildings.